Asked to quit on the spot. Okay, I will take you up on that. This happened 20 years ago after I had just turned 18 and during my first adult job as a cook in a franchise that has a very creepy clown as a mascot. After working there for 6 months, I decided that I preferred to work as a bartender, so it was known that I was looking to find some other job in a bar. This is a bit relevant with what happened. So, I was supposed to clock out at 4 p.m. As soon as my shift ended, I punched my card. Yes, we used to punch cards back then, and I was on my way to change clothes so I can leave. As I was leaving the kitchen, a big group of customers, like 10 or 12, walk in the store, so one of the managers demanded me stay to help. Note, she did not ask me if I can help, she demanded that I help even though I had already clocked out. Being 18 and nice, I agreed to stay to help. Around 20 minutes later and I was still in the kitchen with several orders still to do, so I was complaining to the second manager who is also working the kitchen at the time that I really needed to go. For some reason, the other manager, the one that demanded that I stayed to help, overheard my complaint and starts yelling at me that I am useless, and that I should be grateful that I have a job and that I shouldn't say these things as she knows I am searching for another job and she could fire me on the spot. Mind you, she was not working the kitchen, she just entered the kitchen to grab some stuff. So I told her that I had already finished my shift and I was not getting paid for the extra time I was there, and that I was already late for the plans I had. So she yelled to me, "If you want to leave now, I might as well quit. Cue malicious compliance." I followed her instruction to the letter. I told her, yes, I want to leave now, so I quit. I took off my shirt and pants, as they were company issued, and went to pick up my stuff wearing only my underwear. Even after picking up my clothes, I didn't bother to get dressed, just walked out of the front door in my underwear. My shoes were also mine, so I was not barefoot. I walked to my car, where I put on the rest of my clothes. This happened in full view of the customers as the kitchen is in direct view from the whole store. She was dumbfounded and some customers even clapped and cheered because they heard how nasty she was being with me. Later I found out that she was reprimanded by the owner, probably because everything happened in view of customers, and I even got a small bonus on my last paycheck. Within the next couple of weeks found a bartending job that I kept for a few years. So in the end everything was for the best. Edit, because people are asking, I am not from the USA. In my country you can legally work in a bar at the age of 18. Edit 2, because I see a lot of people hang up on the people cheered part. When I left, the customers that were there told me that I did the right thing and clapped. I didn't say that I got a standing ovation, and I never said everyone. I just said some people. In my country people cheer and clap for all sorts of stupid things. Glasses fall down and break, people cheer. People get in a fight, people cheer. It is more common than you would think. But even if you do not believe me, that's okay. I just wish that I was able to entertain you. Edit 3, because people are asking, I am from Greece. Although from my understanding the same thing, cheering for things that break, is happening all around the world. I saw many people mentioning the UK and Australia. Now to the comments. Locking. While I read through the comments, even implying a poster is making up part of a story generally will result in a permanent ban. Edit. Unlocked now. The small bonus was probably not a bonus at all, but compensation for time worked, because they didn't want to face a lawsuit for not paying you for working. Probably both. A bonus that covered the pay and then some, to help ensure please don't sue us for forcing you to work off the clock, and probably only happened because the other manager and customers saw it and reported it. What's that one song? Money Talks? Bravo, going out like a boss in your chonies. That is masterful. I say chonies and people have no clue what I'm talking about. You must spread the word. And the word is chonies. I was thinking, man, 20 years ago was a long time ago, and picturing the 60s. Then I realized I was 16-20 years ago working fast food, also using a punch-out card. I mean, I used a punch card last year at my job. It's not that uncommon. I have a card with an NFC chip in it I use to punch in and out. Takes balls of steel to walk with no pants around deep fryers. You literally and figurative showed balls with that display. I applaud you. The man's got brass stones. It's amazing how often people think you can't be 18 and work in a bar because they believe it's only America these things happen. You can be a bartender in America at 18, varies by state, you just can't drink until 21. Yeah, I don't get that edit. Here in California, you can sell and serve alcohol when you're 18 but not drink it yourself. I was confused too when my boss told me to handle the drinks and I was like, but I'm not 21 at first. Reminds me of when I quit one of my bouncing jobs. The owner of the club kept letting his kid and his friends in through the back door. Thing is, where I live, I am liable if underage drinking happens, as to get a license you have to jump through some hoops and go through courses. I told the owner I was going to walk with the entire security crew. He called us out on a bluff and we all ripped off our shirts and jackets and threw them at the front door and walked to the 7-Elevens down the street to have some late night shitty hot dogs. The club had to shut down for weeks because it was a small town and word got around fast so nobody would work there. Very creepy clown. Can I get another clue? Having trouble with this reference. Edit. I get it. Just forgot that place had a McMascot. Old underscore 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 had a farm. McDowell. And I was not getting paid for the extra time I was there. Why would you work if you were not getting paid? Sounds like they were young, it was their first real job, and at that age if the boss tells you to do something you don't realize that you don't have to listen to them. Seems like they figured it out though and quit, so I wouldn't hold it against them. Yep, this can happen. First company I worked for had a very high turnover rate of young people usually in their first job, and we were easy to take advantage of. I did the work of 2 people, and it was compulsory to work through lunch and stay an hour extra after work, so hours were basically 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. without a break. We were already on minimum wage, so technically we were getting paid less than that. Obviously, I know better now, and I'm with a good company. Current manager makes sure I never have to work more than my set hours to ensure a good work-life balance. I hope you flex to the customers on the way out. The question is, what was flexed? Schedules. I did a very similar thing. I had started working at a job and had only been there for a couple of days. I wasn't on the schedule yet. I was cleaning the dining room when the manager came up and started talking to me. I told him, I know you don't have me on the schedule yet, and my friend's sister is getting married Saturday, so I would like to have it off if possible. I was expecting a no, but what I didn't expect was for him to start yelling at me in front of everyone. I immediately pulled off the shirt and the paper hat and threw them down and said, I asked you a yes or no question and I don't deserve to be treated like this. I walked out bare-chested and proud. Thankfully the pants were mine. P. The real question is, was it boxers or briefs? If it was briefs, well, that could have been much more entertaining. OP replied. Sorry to disappoint. It was boxers. And to be honest, this is why I did that. I probably chicken out and not go through with this if I wore briefs. Smiley. I was just saying how much more entertaining it would have been in briefs. I suppose it is too much to hope that you were wearing He-Man boxers and yelled by the power of Grayskull on the way out.